Hello, everyone. Welcome September the 14th, 2021 to the special regular board meeting at 6 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please, and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd now like to have Mr. Young swear in our new member of the Zanesville Board of Education, Valencia Clark.
I, Valencia Clark,
Do
solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
as board member in and for the said Zanesville City School District,
as board member in and said the Zanesville City School District,
Muskingum County, Ohio,
Muskingum County, Ohio,
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted
and in accordance with the laws and now in effect and hereafter to be enacted
during my continuance in said office and until my successor is chosen and qualified.
during my continuance in said office and until my successor is chosen and qualified.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Roll call, please.
Mr. Baldwin.
Here.
Mr. Bunning.
Here.
Mrs. Clark.
Here.
Mrs. French.
Here.
Mr. Hickman.
Here.
Introduction of guests, please.
Yes, Emily Brady, Levi Pierce, Chad Grandstaff, Lord Lee, members of the CJ, and members of the.
Welcome.
Each quarter, the board likes to recognize employees in the district that go above and beyond the call of duty. The way that is done is building principals nominate someone that they're aware of that is doing a stellar job and someone they can depend on a regular basis. Those names from those people that were nominated are then put out to the administrative team who votes. And based on that voting, then we have our nominees for the quarter. So the board would like to take this opportunity to recognize our CEA candidate, Emily Brady, for an outstanding job. Levi here. And our non-union, Chad Grandstaff.
CEA presentation or comments?
All right. So I want to start with a quote from A. Bartlett Geology. Teachers believe that they have a gift for giving. It drives them with the same irrepressible drive that drives others to create a work of art or a market or a building. For 4 months, our CEA negotiations team has tried to be professional, respectful, and honest about what is needed to help our students reach their fullest potential. We have done what we have always done, which is to put our students first and foremost. We entered the school year without an action plan to protect our students or ourselves from the Delta variant, which is ravishing our community. We knew we wouldn't be able to keep our children 3 to 6 feet apart. We knew we couldn't make them wear masks or use shields, but we started the school year grateful to have our students back in our classrooms where they belong. We vowed, as we do every single year, to give everything we could to make it a wonderful start to the school year. But then the numbers in Zanesville began to climb rapidly. We saw some of our own hospitalized. We've been asked to be flexible in dealing with numerous children and staff members being positive or having to quarantine. Our nurses, dedicated and exhausted, were doing their best to stay on top of the growing numbers of quarantine. Rather than agree to the simplest solution, a district-wide mask mandate, which the 15 biggest school districts in Ohio have ordained, you decided that 2 weeks of wearing masks at the high school would solve the problem. In talking to my 2 high schoolers, I know that that isn't keeping them safe. When teachers are out, as they've been out, students are sent to the gym, corralled with other students, where no learning is taking place. The other day, my daughter arrived at her classroom where there was no teacher, and she was told by other students to go to the weight room. There was no note on the door or explanation by a faculty member. She was not even allowed to sit outside and read, but instead she spent time sitting on the floor of the weight room until one of her teachers would be there so she could learn. I can speak for every parent and teacher when I say that is not okay. Now we know that COVID is here and we're dealing with it as we have been for the last 18 months. We've learned how to adapt our teaching for virtual instruction, for socially distanced instruction, for missing half the class instruction without complaining. We knew that to be responsive to the needs of our students, we needed to be flexible. We needed to do our best to collaborate and compromise to do our jobs effectively. We stayed late, took extra professional development, and worked together to rise up and be proactive in teaching our kids. We aren't actually here to focus on the pandemic. We know that we're still fighting a losing battle to make up for the loss of learning of the 18 months. We teachers will continue to suit up and go into battle for our students each and every day. We're tired, we're weary, but we're here fighting for them. There's a ton of people here today, and I feel so blessed to have so many people supporting the students of Zanesville City Schools. And I know people are watching online as well, and 150 were out there with us just a little bit ago. If I ask these teachers and support staff and community members for a show of hands to indicate how many of them choose to go to work every day when they are run down or exhausted because their students need them, because we don't have enough subs, or we know that our students would be losing additional instructional time, I doubt many hands would stay down. I've heard the phrase human capital thrown around a lot in the last 18 months. I had to look it up to make sure that I knew exactly what that meant. Merriam-Webster defines it as a noun, the skills, knowledge, and qualifications of a person, group, or workforce considered as economic assets. We have amazing teachers in our district. We have teachers who go above and beyond every single day. They don't just teach kids, they love kids. They know the hardships of this community and face them every day. And they don't ask for millions of dollars, though I know that they're worth it. They ask for collaboration in negotiating a fair and equitable contract. We ask to not have our health insurance become so unmanageable to afford. We ask for additional staff to be able to spend time working with intervention with our struggling students. We ask to not lose money doing a job that is in our hearts to do. When Julia, who is a senior at Zanesville High School, will graduate this spring, was in kindergarten, I used to tell people how it felt like my heart was walking around outside of my body. I sent her off each day to teachers in Zanesville, knowing how hard they worked. And I did everything in my power to support her and her teachers. They were holding my most prized possessions in their hands. I trusted her teachers to take care of her academically, emotionally, and physically. I continue to trust her teachers and those of all 5 of our children, because I see how much every single one of these teachers and support staff pour into this often thankless job. We implore the board to continue to try to see what our students need and deserve, to collaborate with ZEA, to fully realize a blueprint for success for each and every student. We ask that you think about what you can do to support the teachers who are in the trenches with these children every day. We're asking for reasonable negotiations so that we can focus on our students without worrying about whether or not we are going to need to get a second job. We know that money doesn't grow on trees. We know that none of us are asking to be millionaires, but we also know that financially our district is not bleeding. We know that financially we are in better shape than we have been in years. We ask you to take care of our teachers the way that you ask them to take care of the students in our buildings. We want to be in classrooms helping them all soar. It takes both sides to build a bridge, and all we want is to build the strongest, most stable bridges for all of the students and teachers in Zanesville. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is a little off the record, but I would like to say that as a member of the Zanesville Board of Education and the and my associates, members sitting here, I know that we want the very best. We love our teachers, we love our staff, and we always want to put students first. I also would like to read a public statement from the Zanesville City School District Board of Education. And this is actually in response to false statements made by the Zanesville Education Association. The following: the Zanesville City School Board of Education has been negotiating with the Zanesville Education Association for a new contract since May 7th. The Board of Education and the union have met more than 10 times since then and have made significant progress. On Friday, September 10th, the Zanesville Education Association released a statement regarding bargaining continuing with blatant falsehoods. The board asked the union to correct its misstatements, and the union has refused despite agreeing with the board's account of where these issues stand. In its September 10th statement, ZEA claimed the district is insisting that ZEA members endure massive cuts in health benefits. In reality, the district has not proposed any plan design changes for the ZEA health plan. Perhaps more importantly, in its last package proposal, the district is insisting the district accepted the ZEA's health care contribution proposal. For the union to now claim that the district is insisting on cuts to benefits is incomprehensible and a great disservice to our teachers and our community. The board has offered ZEA a competitive salary package well above the state and area averages and accepted the union's last proposal on benefits. We are scheduled to mediate again at the end of this week, and we ask the ZEA team to come to mediation in good faith and work with the board to resolve the few remaining issues in this negotiation. Sincerely and kind regards, the Board of Education, the Zanesville Board of Education. Thank you. Are there any student updates or reports? Zanesville Community High School report, please.
Good evening, everyone. Currently, right now, we're off to a great start next door. We have 119 students enrolled, 6 more pending. Just received this week, waiting on some records from them to put us up to 125 students. It's our, I guess you could call it our career high at this point. And we're thrilled with what we've done to start with that. We're working on an amended contract. We're in our 5th year of our contract with you guys, our sponsor, the Zanesville City Schools. And we've had to just amend it a little bit just because of the fact that last year remote learning was an offer that we put in. This year, taken back out, and we've substituted our blended learning, which we are currently using. So we were allowed, again, the remote with the COVID, and this year we're doing some blended learning. And we will do our side of that tomorrow at the Zanesville Community High School board meeting at noon, and then we'll get that to you guys to take a look at and approve at your next board meeting. Again, we're excited about the partnership we have going out here in the building behind you with the Zanesville High School, Zanesville City Group, also with the outdoor education program that Coach Grandstaff was involved in a lot last year with that. And we're getting that off the ground. It's nice to see some different students down here, some different things going on with that partnership. And again, we're hoping some of our younger kids will be able to probably get involved with that. We're hoping sometime even this school year, start to get them involved and kind of lean our way into that. But again, we're moving in the, as they are with, just slow and getting things acclimated. But it's off to a great start out there. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, you're more than free to come down sometime. We'll definitely show you that. We are 1-to-1 now in our capability for our Chromebooks. We got a nice order in finally the other day. And we still use some desktops next door. We're kind of weaning those out. We'll have one-on-one capability. All our students will have Chromebooks. And with Ymca, which is our curriculum that we use right now, we have a social and emotional program. It's a learning program that we purchased this year off of Ymca. And our, basically our lady, her name is actually from New Horizons Mental Health Services, is going to kind of run that for us. We'll take that on a leave, but that's a new program we're offering this year. We're very excited about for our students. So now I don't have much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So before we move forward, guys, there's a couple corrections to the agenda. On item 2, under the superintendent's recommendations, Misty Kirker says Zane Grade Intermediate. She's at Zane Grade Elementary. And then number 9, supplemental contracts. Natasha Warner, robotics advisor at JME. That should be half of the stipend. So maybe go to those when Dr. Baker gets to those.
Now, I would like to have a report of the Board of Education, Mr. Mike Young. And I'd also like to approve the minutes. May I have a motion, please?
Final move.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bunning,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman,
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Now, I would like for Mr. Young to give the report of the treasurer of the Board of Education.
Okay, so first off, does anybody have any questions on the monthly reports or anything from the community school? So on item 4, I'd like to point out a couple things here. We talked about last month about the changes in the funding with the state foundation payment. So you'll notice if you look back to last year's appropriations in the general fund, it's, I believe we had 46.2 last year is what we appropriated, but that's because open enrollment no longer will flow to us and then flow back out. So we're only going to receive the net, whereas you would have reported that expense, that $5 million that went back out to all the other schools, that would have been recorded as an expense in the past. It no longer will be there. So once we get full implementation of the new formula next month, I expect this number probably will go up a little bit, but that's where we're at for today, because you have to have permanent appropriations passed by the end of September. So rather than bring you back in, we'll just adjust it as needed going forward. The other item in the appropriations that kind of makes it look a little bit strange, if you look at the ESSER Funds 507 on the second page of my stuff, you're going to see $22 million appropriated. So we have to appropriate it to spend it. We have to spend it to get it. And the things that we can use it for are all COVID related, mitigation, social distancing, all the types of things. Suppose we have to go remote again, or we have to hire bus drivers, whatever it may be that's directly related to the virus. That's the money that's remaining. For some of it will expire at the end of this school year in ESSER 1. Some of it will expire in September of 23 for ESSER 2, and then September of 24 for the ARP ESSER, which was the last round passed back in March. But this is the total amount that's remaining to be spent for those types of expenses between now and September of 24. Then the last item, we did go negative again with our claims in the health fund. So we're moving an additional $400,000. That brings the total of the last 3+ years. We've moved almost $2.1 million from the general fund to the health fund to cover those claims overrun.
May I have a motion, please?
Oh.
Second,
Hickman, second.
any discussion? I'd like to ask, how much have we gone over in the health insurance?
It would be that 2.1
2.1 million.
in the last, since June of 18. So what that is, we're self-insured. So we pay the first $100,000 in claims each year for every single insured person in the district. That year runs May 1st to April 30th. The consortium that we're part of pays the next 150 up to the 250, and then Medical Mutual kicks in with a stop loss above 250. So this is where we set the premiums, we fund the plan. These are costs in excess of what we have funded. So we were negative, I believe, 225 before today's payment, but we funded today because we got payroll, tomorrow's a payday. So we always fund it on the 15th of the month, that first pay.
Any other questions with that? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman,
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Superintendent's recommendation, Dr. Doug Baker.
Item 1, resignation classified. Approve the resignation of Judy Gomer, 3-hour food service at Zangray Elementary, effective August 30th of 21. Reasons for the resignation is personal. Approve the resignation of Chantel Farley, transportation, effective August 6th of 21. Reason for the resignation is personal. And approve the resignation of Brenda Grimmett, educational aide, 101 at National Road, effective September 10th of 21. Reasons for the resignation is personal.
Motion, please.
Bonnie will move.
French will second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman,
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunning,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Item 2, employment classified. Approve the employment of Claudia Irwin as an educational aide at Zangray Elementary Preschool. Effective date of employment is August 31st of 21. Salary would be regular aide with AA. Step 4 from the appropriate salary schedule pending licensure and background check. Approve the employment of Kayla Lloyd, educational aide, 101. Effective date of employment is August 24th of 21. Salary will be MD with AA. Step 2 from the appropriate salary schedule pending certifications and background check. Approve the employment of Misty Kirker as educational aide, 101 at Zangray Elementary. Effective date of employment is September 7th of 21. Salary will be MD aide. Step 5 from the appropriate salary schedule pending certifications and background check. Approve the employment of Jennifer Woodburn, part-time interpreter at Zanesville High School, effective September 7th of 21. Salary will be MD aide. Step 12 from the appropriate salary schedule pending certifications and background check. Approve the employment of Logan Burkhart, 3-hour food service at Zanesville High School, effective September 8th of 21. Salary will be cafeteria 2, step 0 from the appropriate salary schedule pending certifications and background check. And approve the employment of Patricia Snoddy, 3-hour food service at Zangray Elementary, effective September 9th of 21. Salary will be cafeteria 2, step 0 from the appropriate salary schedule pending certifications and background check.
Motion, please.
Hickman will move.
Second.
Clark second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hickman,
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunning,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Item 3, employment substitutes, home instructors. Approve the following substitutes as listed, as and when needed, pending appropriate certifications and background checks for the 21-22 school year. And approve the following home instructors as listed, as and when needed, pending appropriate certification and background checks for the 21-22 school year.
Motion, please.
Bonnie will move.
Second.
Baldwin,
Yes.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunning,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman.
Yes.
Item 4, salary adjustment certificated. Approve the following personnel as listed to be granted salary adjustments effective for the 21-22 school year. Reason for the adjustment is due to having completed requirements for a new classification on the salary schedule by virtue of additional study.
Motion, please.
Hickman will move.
French will second. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bunning,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman,
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Item 5, salary adjustment classified. Approve a salary adjustment for Heather Spring, MD8, step 2 at Zangray Intermediate to reflect MD8 with AA, step 2, effective August 20th of 21 for additional education, pending certification and background checks.
Motion, please.
Bonnie will move.
Second.
Clark second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman,
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Item 6, extended time nurses. Approve extended time for the following nurses as listed, as and when needed for the 21-22 school year to provide COVID-19 related services. Rate of pay will be per diem rate.
That will come out of COVID.
Motion, please.
Hickman will move.
Second,
Fleming will second.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman.
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Item 7, extended time certificated. Approve extended time for the following individual as listed for the summer of 21 prior to the 21-22 school year. Rate of pay will be per diem rate as and when needed.
Motion, please. French will second. Roll call. Discussion, roll call.
Mr. Hickman.
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Item 8, FMLA leave of absence. Approve an FMLA leave of absence for Ashley Dolak, teacher at Zane Gray Elementary School, effective October 7th of 21 to October 26th of 21. Approve an FMLA leave of absence for Amanda Farish, teacher at John McIntyre Elementary School, effective September 7th of 21 to December 7th of 21. Approve an FMLA leave of absence for Jody Conley, teacher at John McIntyre Elementary School, effective August 25th to 21 to November 3rd of 21. Approve an FMLA leave of absence for Alicia Mumford, teacher at John McIntyre Elementary School, effective August 26th of 21 to September 30th of 21. Approve an FMLA leave of absence for Kelly Jarvis, transportation, effective August 10th of 21 to October 10th of 21. Approve an FMLA leave of absence for Lisa Cronin, secretary to the assistant superintendent, effective August 5th, 21 to August 4th of 22.
Motion, please. Second,
Second.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman.
Yes.
Item 9, supplemental contract. Approve the resignation of Burl Dennis, athletic manager at Zanesville Middle School, effective August 16th of 21. Reason for the resignation is personal. Approve the resignation of Tasha Raymond, winter reserve cheerleader, effective 21-22 school year. Reason for the resignation is to accept winter varsity cheerleading advisor position. Approve a correction to robotics advisor for Stacy Mueller at John McIntyre Elementary to reflect 1/2 of the supplemental amount, experience level 4, class 8.
Motion, please.
And
Oh, I'm
there's
sorry.
more. Approve the following supplemental contracts as listed, pending required certifications and background check for the 21-22 school year.
Motion, please.
Fleming will move.
Second. Discussion, roll call, please.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman.
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Item 10, stipend certificated. Approve a stipend in the amount of $1,800 for Maureen Montgomery Christian to assist with billing and accounts receivable at the Juvenile Detention Center for the 21-22 school year.
Motion, please.
Baldwin will move.
Second,
Hickman will second.
any discussion?
What's this for?
So as kids come in and out there, she does the billing to the other schools. So
It's administrative role. She holds an administrative certificate, although she's in a teaching position. But she does extra work on this.
she would bill all the local districts and have kids that are out of the JDC.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman.
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Item 11, volunteers. Approve with thanks the following list of volunteers for Zanesville City Schools for the 21-22 school year, pending appropriate certifications and background checks.
Motion, please.
Fleming will move.
Second. Second. Discussion, roll call.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman.
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Item 12, class trip. Approve the Zanesville Middle School 8th grade students to travel to Washington DC, March 23rd of 22 to March 25th of 22. School staff will chaperone the class trip, and that's barring any COVID restrictions at the time.
Motion, please.
Baldwin will move.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hickman.
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Item 13, professional development, mentor training. Approve the following teachers as listed to receive resident educator mentoring training as required by the Ohio Department of Education. The training is virtual. Teachers will be compensated $150 for the 12 required contact hours and the registration fee of $150 per teacher. This training will be funded through the general fund.
Motion, please.
Tony will move.
French will second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunning,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman. Yes.
Item 14, math literacy coaches. Approve the following teachers as listed as math literacy coaches for the 21-22 academic year. Responsibilities include providing professional development to teachers in their schools using the knowledge and skills learned through the training. The stipend pay is $2,000 for academic year. Compensation will come from the Title II-A funding.
Motion, please.
Hickman will move.
Second.
Tony will second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bunning,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman. Yes. Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Item 15, literacy collaborative coaches. Approve the following teachers as listed as literacy collaborative coaches for the 21-22 academic year. Responsibilities including providing professional development to teachers in their schools using the knowledge and skills learned through training. The stipend pay is $2,000 for the academic year. Compensation will come from the Title II-A funding.
Motion, please. Second.
Baldwin will second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman. Yes. Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Item 16, substitute teacher rate. Approve raising the daily rate to $100 per day for all substitute teachers. This change will be effective September 16th of 2021.
Motion, please.
Tony will move.
Second.
Hickman will second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please. Wait, sorry, Mr. Baldwin.
Is that competitive with everybody else?
It's-
I know we're competing with it.
It's better. I don't know that it's the top, but it's better.
Quite, I agree, it's better.
So I don't know what every district pays, so I can't answer that question completely.
Do you want an answer to the question?
It'd be nice to see what everybody else is doing.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. French,
Yes.
Mr. Hickman. Yes. Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunning,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Item 17, service agreement, Cognate Consulting Group LLC. Approve a service agreement with Cognate Consulting Group LLC, Astrid Ymca, consultant, July 1st of 21 through June 30th of 22, for the purpose of approving data use capacity at Zanesville High School. This will be paid through consolidated Title I non-competitive supplemental school improvement funds as allocated to Zanesville High School.
Motion, please.
Tony will move.
Second. Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hickman. Yes. Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunning,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Item 18, lease agreement, Buckeye Valley Family YMCA. Approved to enter into a lease agreement to formalize the understanding between Zanesville City Schools, the district, and Buckeye Valley YMCA. Pursuant to the Buckeye Valley YMCA shall operate the latchkey child care program. Nothing contained in the lease agreement shall confer any title or interest in the land, space, premises of the district to Buckeye Valley YMCA.
Motion, please.
Baldwin.
Second.
Hickman will second.
Discussion.
Steve, is that for a year?
I'm sorry,
That's a single year?
that's for 1 year, yes. And mainly it's because they are the ones that now apply for the
JFS.
licensing for the space. So it's no longer on us, so they have to have something to show that the space is allowed to be used by them.
Okay.
Otherwise, why would they do it, right? So that's why they have to have that.
And also, they will have a contract with the Department of Job and Family Services, so
that
that
is
it is on a sliding scale
That's
for our
correct.
students.
This allows them to utilize that sliding scale for that space, for that particular program, yes.
Okay, not just self-pay. They
No,
now
it's
have.
not just self-paid, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Mr. Bunting.
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman.
Yes. Item 19, Scott Aaron Weight Room. Approve the naming of the boys basketball weight room, Scott Aaron Weight Room.
Bunting will move.
Second,
Clerk, second.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bunting.
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman. Yes. Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
We would now like to move into executive session, whereas the minutes only reflect the general subject matter of discussion in executive session. And whereas the members of the public body may hold an executive session only at the regular or special meeting for the sole purpose of consideration of any matters set forth below. Now therefore be it resolved under provision ORC 121.22, the board hereby enters executive session for the reasons stated below. And that reason is preparing for, conducting, and reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with employees. Time entered,
6:37.
6:37. Do I have a motion, please?
Baldwin will move.
Second,
Bunting will second.
roll call, please.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman. Yes. Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
Mr. Bunting.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and we will go into executive session, and you're welcome to come back after executive session. Thank you very much. Did they each get a copy of this?
No, not everybody. We had media copies, but it also, if they think, but it's also been sent
Okay.
to the media.
Okay.
Also the first go online.
Congratulations.
May I have a motion, please, to come back from executive session? May I have a motion to come back in from executive session? Second, clerks, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman,
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunting,
Yes.
Time,
8:09.
8:09. May I have a motion for meeting adjournment?
Baldwin move.
Second,
Bunting second.
discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Mr. Hickman,
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes.
Mr. Bunting,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark.
Yes.